PewDiePie's racist. PewDiePie's anti-Semitic. PewDiePie is Hitler. Maker Studio, a very big, large YouTube network, which also is owned by the company known as Disney. I used to be managed by them. In fact, this channel that you're watching right now used to be a Maker Studio YouTube channel until I cut my ties with these sacks of shit because they fucked me over. And now they lost their biggest YouTuber, hands down, PewDiePie. They dropped PewDiePie because of his joke on the Jews, his anti-Semitic supposed imagery that he displayed in one of his videos. So Maker Studio, Disney, here's a little word of advice for your YouTube network, because this is in the realm of YouTube. You've done fucked up here. Shay Carl, the CEO, big man who owns Maker Studio, big old sex scandal. Now you just dropped, PewDiePie, one of your biggest money makers, simply because you can't take a goddamn motherfucking joke. But hey, Disney should really be surprised by your goddamn motherfucking hypocrisy, because as someone who has a passion for the golden age of Disney and their cartoons in the 1940s and 50s, there's one episode that I will never forget, and personally, I think this is one of their best episodes that Disney did in their golden age.
In time of war, it's typical, sometimes even useful, to demonize your enemy. We still see this today whenever a dictator or despot comes to power anywhere in the world. Caricatures and jokes, not always in the best of taste, rise to the forefront because it's our way of relieving aggression. So it was in World War II. Some people feared Adolf Hitler. Others mocked him. The Disney staff came up with the idea for a cartoon to be titled Donald Duck in Nazi Land, giving the all-American duck a nightmare that he was living in a country run by Nazis. The title changed when a song written for the cartoon by Oliver Wallace became a runaway hit and a now classic recording by Spike Jones. It then became essential to change the name of the cartoon to De Fuhrer's Face. It's easy to see why the film was so popular. It's very, very funny, reducing the serious tenets of Hitler's Nazism to slapstick absurdities.
Oh boy, my hungry. Oh boy, I'm so hungry.
Wenn der Führer says, wie ist der Master Race? Wie heil, right in the Führer's face, not to love the Führer. Welcome, workers of Naziland. Is this not wonderful? Is not our Führer glorious? Heil Hitler! What's that you say, Schweinhund? Verdammter Esel! Heil Hitler!
Man, Disney has changed a lot since then, since the 1940s, haven't they? They've went through, not being politically correct to the whole 9 yards. This just demonstrates the hypocrisy of a big studio that can't take a joke, yet they do stuff like this, have stuff in their record books like this, which is not to say this is a great episode. If you've never seen this episode of Donald Duck, I encourage you to go watch it. It's really good. But we live in this hypersensitive culture now, where people saying jokes about Nazis, Jews, Holocaust jokes are taken so seriously. And of course here, you know what? It's Disney's job. It's makers, if they want to cut ties with a YouTuber because they made a Nazi joke or an anti-Semitic joke or a Holocaust joke, that's their business. That's how they want to run their business, by all means. But I don't give a shit about that. I care more about the hypocrisy of the history behind Disney, and Disney being at one point a really awesome company that really was not very politically correct and made really powerful animated shorts of cartoons, has now changed into this hypersensitive butt fuckery. Don't say anything offensive. Don't go this far. Don't touch the line. Don't push our inability to take a joke because, well, we're pussies. That's really what this boils down to. You see, Maker Studio, Disney, fucked me over because I was once part of their network, and they gave me a 70-30 deal, which means that they take 30% out of my paycheck through ad revenue, which is really a lot, by the way. They gave me that deal, and one of the promises that the Maker Studio, the network, told me, and I talked to them on the phone to get my channel signed with this, and be careful with networks that you get signed with, they said, hey, if your channel grows, and at the time I only had 45,000 subscribers when I signed to them back in 2010, they said, we'll give you more protections, we'll protect you from copyright strikes, blah, 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 false flags, whatever. We'll help your channel grow. They didn't do anything for my channel, one. Number two, they told me that once my channel hit over 100,000 subscribers up in that area, that they could cut me a new deal to where it would be a 10%, so it'd be a 10-90 split, meaning that they take 10% out of whatever I make. Much more flexible. 10% of $1,000 is a lot less than 30%. And I was like, yeah, sure, that's great. I'll get those subscribers, I'll get those views, and guess what? I succeeded in giving them over, I think it was over the 2 years that I was with them, I gave them over 25 million views through all of my videos that I had made at that point. My CPM, though, my price per view that I get, because I get paid for views, was extremely low. It was like $2-3. So I didn't make a whole lot of money, but the money that I was making through them, they were taking a large 30% out of. So then when I hit I had 200,000 subscribers when I left their network. This was like in 2000, I think it was 13, 14. I contact them by phone. They say, yeah, we'll see what we can do on that new split. I contact by email, contact by phone again. We had this entire email exchange, we had phone conversations, we had Skype, and they say, hey, Daniel, we can't give you that 10-90 split. Forward in the email where they promised me in the original email that they promised that they would give me a 10-90 split when my channel grew to a certain number of subscribers, and that's exactly what I did. I passed the number of subscribers they requested me to get and work towards, and they still couldn't give me their goddamn promise that they promised me when signing a network. So at that point, I said, fuck you, demonetized all of my YouTube videos so they wouldn't make a penny, and I said, I want to be out of this contract right now, or I'm going to upload pornography. But that's my experience with Maker Studio, a horrible, stupid fucking YouTube network that you should never be part of. If you are part of, well, maybe hopefully they're helping you doing their job, but for the most part, if they're willing to drop Pewdiepie for an anti-Semitic joke, by all means, you're probably on the borderline of getting dropped by them too, because they don't like being controversial to any extent. I'm sure Pewdiepie, honestly, I'm sure he's happy. I'm sure he's happy that he can be more of himself and his type of humor, rather than pander to the fucking worthless pile of shit Maker Studio. But hey, you guys lost that money, so good on you for losing and cutting all that money that you could be making off somebody over a goddamn joke. That's crazy to me. Thank you for watching this video. My Discord link is linked down below in the description and in my outro.